Hello, we are coming to you from Texas Public Radio's new downtown headquarters, the Irma and Emilio Nicolas Media Center, inside the Malú and Carlos Alvarez Theater. My name is Yadhira Lozano, and I'm the Executive Director of Luminaria. We are here today to bring to you our new grant recipients for the Luminaria Artist Foundation program. According to Americans for the Arts, the art sector across the nation has lost $16 billion during the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, grants such as these are very important to keep our culture, our arts community alive and going here in San Antonio. So the 84 applications that we received were judged by a panel from across the country. These are art experts that are working in Hollywood, New York, Colorado, Atlanta, and also San Antonio. And now to present to you the winners of the 2021 Luminaria Artist Foundation Grant Award. The Luminaria Artist Foundation grant recipient in performing arts is Jeremy Kingg.
Thank you so much, Luminaria, for allowing me to chase my dream, actually hold it and make this real. I'm so grateful. Yeah. Hey, I'm talking brand new money. Checks in the mail, checks in my hand, but the record's gon' sell. Get the plaques out, hands off the wheel, eyes to the hill. Got my mind on a mill, alright, dawg. It was in the plan. This ain't for the gram, dawg. Did it for the fam, they spaz. Celebrating they don't ask. Now I show up, making sure they understand. Back with the ruckers, overflowing blessings, dawg. Ain't nobody luck up. I'm running on the scene like Kingg, none other. Popping on your screen like I just need the green light. Trust us. Oh wait, now you want some? Come and get a piece. Talking life more abundant. Really ain't a thing. No, I'm breaking up my brothers. Close to the sky when I'm hanging out the ride. Like what up? Northwest, East, got Southside locked in. GG on the beat, turn the beach to a mosh pit. Crazy with the dreams, dang, what a way to profit. Couple rings, now your data got me popping. Ay, run the options. I really wanna see who thinking they can stop this. Live from the melting pot with the plot twist, man. Wake up giving thanks, cause I know it's on the way. I'm talking checks in the mail, checks in my hand, bet the record's gon' sell. Get the plaques out, hands off the wheel, eyes to the hill. Got my mind on the mill, alright, dawg. It was in the plan. This ain't for the gram, dawg. Did it for the fam, they spaz. Celebrating that day, don't ask. Now I show up, making sure they understand. It ain't all Kingg. Legends in my pocketbook, y'all don't know cheese. Running how I run, yeah, moving no strings. They can never comprehend what it costs me. Leveling up, don't blink, yeah, I want the whole thing. Quick to lay it down, talking most seeds. Nothing out of reach, I mean. See it, want it, name it, claim it. That's how I gotta think. This ain't something I can hold. This that feeling in your soul when you know you sitting on a pot of gold. All eyes on me, thinking that I'm moving slow. Let the record show I'm in a race all alone. All my guys breaded, deep in the profit where we headed. Whole fam link like sheesh. Everybody eating, that's facts. Faith on max, got me stepping out the boat in stance. Raise a toast to the bag. I'm talking checks in the mail, checks in my hand, but the record's gon' sell. Get the plaques out, hands off the wheel, eyes to the hill. Got my mind on the mill, alright, dawg. It was in the plan. This ain't for the gram, dawg. Did it for the fam, they spaz. Celebrating that day, don't ask. Now I show up, making sure they understand. Yeah. Now I show up, making sure they understand. I'm talking brand new money. Hey. Now I show up, making sure they understand. Talking brand new money.
The Luminaria Artist Foundation grant recipient in literary arts is Eddie Vega.
Hi, my name is Eddie Vega, and I'm really excited about this project, and I want to thank Luminaria for helping me to do it. It's a project where I want to preserve the lingua franca of South Texas, the Tejano, the Spanglish, the Mocho, the Pocho, whatever it is that we talk that makes people in academia cringe or sigh or in some way look down on us. We're going to speak it with our chests held high. So I was at the poetry workshop cuando les leí mi poesía. It was this poem sprinkled with words in Spanish like chili powder on the fresh fruit slices of my English when they told me, maybe you should translate more of your words because not everyone can understand you. So I told them, I didn't write this poem for you. So don't ask me to change it for you. You see, I spoke Spanish before I spoke anything else. And while my father was learning English in the classroom, I was learning it from my mom and Sesame Street. So maybe this poem is for Big Bird and Cookie Monster and Oscar, who taught me it's okay to get mad as long as you're being misunderstood. You see, I wrote this poem for my mom and her generation, who were punished in corners, their mouths washed out with soap for speaking their mother's tongues. And I wrote it for my father, who was proud when the white lady told him she couldn't believe he was an immigrant because he hardly had an accent. I wrote it for my daughter, who with her analytical mind gets taught marks in math and science but struggles in Spanish class. I wrote it for my son, who asked me one day in disappointment, Dad, why didn't you teach me Spanish when I was younger? I would know 2 languages by now. And I wrote it because when I was their age, I pretended I didn't understand the janitors and the lunch ladies at school because none of my GT classmates would ever have talked to those people. So now I'm writing it for them and their daughters and their sons, y my tíos, y my tías, y toda la gente de mi barrio quienes trabajan en la labor so they can pick the lettuce and tomato that goes into your taco salad. Maybe it's for the Salinas out there who can sing como la flor but don't actually know the language in which they sing. And for Hispanics in Hollywood who are still typecast as gang members and pool cleaners and janitors and lunch ladies. And for El Chavo del Ocho, Univision 41. All 87 restaurants in the greater metropolitan area with Jalisco somewhere in their name. Los 43 de Otinapa who still have not been found. 12.8 million Latinos that did not vote in the last election. And the 30% of Border Patrol agents out there who claim themselves as Hispanic who are keeping their own little cousins in cages, but I sure as hell didn't write it for you. It's for anyone who's ever been laughed at for saying sandwich or library or pizza or had their name butchered by some pinche gringo who didn't even want to try because there is no excuse for that. It's for being told to speak American on this soil where we rolled tortillas before we ever broke any bread. And there was a Santa Fe before there was a Plymouth Rock. There was an El Paso before there was Philadelphia. And there was a San Antonio before there was ever a Washington, D.C. And I did not write this poem for you. I wrote it for me.
The Luminaria Artist Foundation grant recipient Rick Liberto Visual Arts Award is Guillermina Zabala.
Hi, my name is Guillermina Zabala, and I would like to thank you, Luminaria, for this opportunity and for this amazing award.
In the open category, the grant recipient is visual artist Adriana Garcia.
Thank you, Luminaria, for funding my project. It means so much to me to be able to continue to evolve the work that I do. I started off as an artist, a visual artist. I became a muralist, went into illustration, and with this money, with this grant, with this opportunity, I will be able to expand my creativity into an augmented reality situation. I'm very excited to have my grandfather, who is part of the Carpas, traveling Mexican tent show, to be my inspiration for this next work.
In the open category, the award recipient is filmmaker Justin Rodriguez.
I just want to thank Luminaria for keeping my journey going on as a San Antonio filmmaker. I'm excited to tell this story. It's called The Art of Dying. What the audience will see is a man who follows mysterious coordinates by an automated collar that leads him into the dangerous world of something much bigger. The undertone is how the Civil War in Nicaragua affected United States, and I cannot wait to get the team together.
The Kathy Armstrong Contemporary Art Grant recipient is writer-performer Marisela Barrera.
Keep kicking ass, Luminaria. Let's continue to build the funding for the arts. Adelante. I've been a Texan all my life, born and raised in the Rio Grande Valley, schooled in Dallas, settled in San Antonio. I never heard a cowboy say yee-haw. I never had a conversation with the daughter of the Republic. And This Texas accent is fake. Texas is vaquero circle dancing con chingos primos at a quince. Texas is abuelita frying up some cabrito blood. Texas is teens crossing borders, Reynosa 1989, to drink tequila sunrise at Jet Set. Little kid Mari believed in aliens. Teenager Mari crossed the border every Friday. 90s Mari believed in love so much that she acquired about 8 ex-fiancés. But it was San Antonio Maricela who lost a house, but found the crispy dog, and in doing so, found herself. Growing up on Crockett Street in the 70s, met ruby red grapefruits and greased lightning, big bird sightings over the horizon, and running through empty fields, arms flying wide open while the dust cropper sprayed pesticides like rain. There were seven of us in that tiny frame home. Mom, Dad had the front bedroom and the only TV in the house, con HBO, Atari, y todo. Who remembers the Commodore 64? One of those two. 3 brothers in the converted garage, each with a twin bed, sleeping con their patas hanging over the end. Santana, Elton John on the turntable, Mota lingering around the Trans Am up front. Me and my sister had the small back bedroom with the perfect view of the alley, where the neighbor's rooster pranced like he was El Mero de Kingg Ranch. This was no rancho. We could have only a small plot of land at the time, but it was ours, and it was in the U.S. of A. I could smell winter Texan casseroles to the right of us, Mexicano cabrito to the left, big birds flying overhead, aliens at the front door, open space at school. First grade, Bowie Elementary. White teachers lined us up, tested our language. Hablas español? English speakers were sent to the high-level first grade. Spanish speakers were sent to what they called remedial. Maricela, hablas español? What are you asking, teacher? I'm highly literate in English. This is my country. I was born in McAllen. I read Encyclopedia Britannica at home, teacher. My dad bought the whole set, A through Z. It was a lot of money, teacher. He eats meat and potatoes every day and smokes cigarettes. That's very English. We have a boat and we take it out to Donna Lake. And look, I could wear Love-It jeans whenever I want. Both my abuelas spoke only Spanish. I knew Spanish, but pretending not to know Spanish sent me to the high level with the white kids. Is this the way I was going to be? First grade. The first and last time I compromised my culture to advance in life. Now, I don't take shit, and I don't kiss ass.
The Kathy Armstrong Contemporary Art Award recipient is playwright DeAnna Brown.
Thank you so much, Luminaria, for this amazing gift.
The Luminaria Artist Foundation grant is supported by the City of San Antonio Departments of Arts and Culture, Rick Liberto, Kay and Scott Armstrong in honor of Kathy Armstrong, the Lifshutz Foundation, Patricia Pratchett, and Guillermo Nicolas in honor of his mother, Irma Cortez Nicolas, and many individual donors such as yourselves. In addition, Luminaria is pleased to announce that we are awarding 15 San Antonio artists with a professional development grant, which is up to $500 to help them with different expenses related to their work. This grant is also sponsored by the City of San Antonio Department of Arts and Culture.
Hi, I'm Debbie Racca-Sittre, and I'm the director of the City of San Antonio's Department of Arts and Culture, and I am so happy that Luminaria Artist Foundation has offered these grants to our artists. And I'm so happy that our department and the City of San Antonio were able to support some of the artists' grants. So you're going to see some really great things coming forward from these artists in the future. The arts is a very crucial component of our economy in San Antonio, and artists make up the backbone of that economy. And you can help support artists to make sure that we can continue to have great art and culture in our city.
Art funding is essential and it's really important, especially at this time of our lives. The pandemic has really reminded us how important creativity is for everyone because it helps us channel self-expression in moments of emotional and traumatic situations. So I really support art funding. Art really feeds our soul, creates community, and builds culture.
I think it's really important for Luminaria to fund artists like myself. I'm a local artist, and one of my favorite quotes is, go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you'll be able to go a little bit further. So this, for me, entering the Luminaria grant process was going as far as I can see. They called me and said, you have got the next grant. Now I'll be able to go further. So thank you so much, Luminaria, for helping artists like me be able to fund our dreams. Like, it takes a lot to go from dream to screen. Most of us are just talking about and thinking and dreaming about it. And today, you people are standing in my dream. So thank you so much, Luminaria. Oh, I'm gonna start crying, y'all, for real. You are standing in my dream, okay?
Hello, my name is Garrett T. Capps, and I am here to remind you to submit your video to the Viva Telethon. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Film yourself doing something cool. Step 2. Make sure it looks good. Step 3. Make sure it sounds good. Step 4. Submit your video at tpr.org/viva by Friday, April 23rd.